In this lesson, I'm going to demonstrate with some of the advanced graphics in Python GUI programming. The turtle module, in essence, is an extended re-implementation of the same named module from the Python standard distribution. So we've used the turtle module in earlier versions of Python, whether you're using Python 2.5, 2.7, or the current one, 3.5, and so on. The turtle module provides graphics primitives in both object-oriented and procedure-oriented ways. And it uses the tkinter for the underlying graphics, and it requires a version of Python installed with the tk support. And there are several available turtle and screen methods that we can use while drawing shapes or images or pictures on the canvas. So in this lesson, let's move forward, and I'm going to demonstrate different techniques as to draw using Python code. So let's begin. I'm going to go ahead and put a comment here first. And first, I'm going to demonstrate and draw a quick polygon. And this is just a refresher, by the way. So quickly save it. I'm going to call it polygon.py. And go ahead and import our turtle. Next, get our variable in here. So it'll be polygon, for instance. And I'm going to say turtle, define the sides. So it'll be num sides equals, let's say, 6 sides for the polygon. And the length would be, suppose, 70. And then, of course, the angle also needs to be defined. And the angle is just the formula, right? So it'll be like 360, and divide that by the num sides. So it divides the 360 angles by all the sides, which is 6. Next, just simply do a for loop. So for I in range, specify num sides, and do the polygon.forward method. And I'm going to do side length and do another one for the polygon right, and this would be the angle. Great. And that's really about it to draw a polygon in Python. So once I'm done, just do turtle done. There we go. Let me go ahead and save it. And once I run the code, a canvas appears and it simply draws a polygon for us. Okay. Move this aside so we can see the code also. So here are the 6 sides. We divided the 360 angle by the 6 sides, and Python draws a polygon by moving the pointer forward. Next, let's do something a little more complex. Let's tell Python to keep drawing and draw a circle with different lines. And we can evaluate and change the speed of the drawing and so on. So we can use the turtle to move fast and draw a certain shape for us. So let's go ahead and let me in fact demonstrate that. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to get rid of this, or let's open up a new file here and quickly save it first before we begin. So I'm going to call it ninjaturtle.py. And here I'm going to go ahead and do the import turtle. Get my variables quick in here. I'm going to call it ninja equals turtle dot turtle. Let's do a for loop. So for I, or before I do a for loop, let's do a speed set. So we want to make sure our ninja moves faster. So it'll be ninja.speed. Let's say I'm going to do, I don't know, really fast, 100. Then my for loop, so for I in range, 180. And here I'm going to just give my methods or tell Ninja to do whether move forward, right, backward, left, right, wherever I wish to have the Ninja move. So first I'm going to do the forward. I'm going to say 100. Then I'm going to say ninja.right. Just going to turn right 100 and then right again. And this time, let's say 30. Next would be ninja.forward again. And this will be 20. And just keep doing it depends on my own requirement. So I'm going to have it move to the left, and you'll see just a minute what Python actually does with this. And next, move Ninja forward, and this will be 50, and then Ninja right. So you get the sense of where the pointer is going to be moving, or the cursor or the dot is going to be moving and drawing on this particular shape. So just giving some directions here. And next, I'm going to use ninja.penup and specify our position. So it'll be set position 0 dash or comma 0. And then, of course, our pen down needs to go there. Next, I'm going to move the ninja to the right at 2. And once I'm done, just simply do a turtle done. Great. Let's execute this code and see what happens. So let's go ahead and save it quick and run it. Perfect. See how fast it's moving, and it's drawing the shape depending on our own requirement. So the directions are specified, and it's going to continue to move within the for loop. So this way you can actually use this looping technique when drawing shapes or whatever it is that you wish to draw. Next, let's draw a set of rectangles. So I'm going to stack the Pythagoras theorem. In other words, use the Pythagoras factors to create into a stack. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. Let's do a Control N. Just quickly do a comment here. So just triangles. And go ahead and save this. I'm going to say mytriangles.py. And once we're done, simply click save. All right, great. So let's begin with our code here. So from turtle, I'm going to go ahead and import, specify the size equals 800 and min equals 64. And here's our Pythagoras theorem. PF equals, it's 0.8660254. You can always look that up, by the way. So it's 0.2. Let me make sure it's 0.866254. And this will be our, I'm going to put a comment next to these so you can actually see. So this will be our Pythagoras factor, which in essence is the square root of 3 and then divided by 2. All right, once we've specified the variables, let's get to our definition. So def s, this will be 1, comma x, comma y, and then do the conditions. So if 1 is greater than the min, then do 1 equals 1 divided by 2. And the 1 greater than min is simply saying whether you're done or not. Okay, so let me in fact put a comment here so it's easier. So not done yet, and this is going to basically scale down by 2. Next, I'm going to say s parentheses 1 comma x comma y, and this is our bottom left triangle, since we're making a bunch of triangles, right? And next I'm going to make the bottom right triangle. So this will be s and then 1 comma x plus 1 divided by 2 comma y plus 1, and multiply that by the PF. And this is the, in fact, our top triangle, but we also need the right triangle. So right under the bottom left triangle, I'm going to go ahead and do s, and this will be 1 equals x plus 1. Otherwise, Python is not going to recognize. Now we do the top triangle. So it'll be basically a bottom triangle, and then I'm going to have the top triangle, and this will be, in fact, bottom right. Perfect. So we have our bottom triangle here defined. Then we have our bottom right triangle, and then, of course, the top triangle, so that they stack up essentially, and that's the goal. So in order for us to tell Python to do this, it's going to continue to stack these triangles up. And then I'm going to say else, once it's done basically recursing, right? So I'm going to say go to x comma y, and then do a pen down. And this is going to start at xy basically, right? So I'm going to say start at xy coordinates and begin to fill. So begin fill. And next I'm going to specify to do a forward 1 and then left 120. Same thing again, forward 1 and left again 120. Next I'm going to tell it to go forward 1 this time and then end my fill. Set my heading, set heading to 0. And what this does, the set heading does, is simply faces the east, right? So I'm going to say, put a comment here so we know. So face east. And the forward 1, left 120, forward 1, left 20 are the bases of the triangle. And of course, begin fill is to start the fill process. So this is just going to be the triangle base. And I'm going to put a comment here so you can also identify. And this will be triangle to the right. And the forward one would be, let's say, triangle to the left. Okay, so as they're stacking up. All right, once we're done with the set heading, let's do a pen up and then tell it to go to xy coordinates. So go to x comma y. So once the if else is finished, I'm going to do pen up and then set my speed. I'm going to set it to fast or maybe fastest so we don't have to wait that long. And then s size comma minus size divided by 2 into the formula or the PF divided by 2.0. And that's it. We just do a done. Great. So let me quickly run through the code. So we're importing the turtle, setting the variables, and doing a definition and simply a condition. And once we save and run this, canvas is going to appear and the triangles are going to start stacking up and building. And it takes a few seconds for Python to compile the code and run it. All right, let's take a look. Line 8, 1 comma, well, it's actually not 1. It's got to be L, right? So it's length X and Y. And of course, same here. So instead of a 1, it should be L and the length. So everything needs to be changed here. So we need to make sure that we use the L, not the 1, okay? Same thing. I don't know why I used 1 here. So it'll be length, and of course our lengths here as well. And in fact, change everything that says 1 to L. So our formulas stay correct. So I'm going to quickly change these. And of course, a couple of them down here also needs to be changed so it knows. All right, great. So I made the changes, verify, seems correct. Let's save it, run it, and let's check one more thing out. Maybe we missed a 1 here on line 26. And of course, we missed the positional argument y. That's because we need to correct the formula here. So it'll be size, and then minus size divided by 2, and then again minus size, because otherwise the triangles are not going to stack up properly. And then we divide this by 2 as well. Okay, that's going to be a float number or an integer. Let's go ahead and run this. Perfect. Now you can see that our triangles are stacking up as we've written the code. So they start a base from the base triangle, the left and the right, and then they stack up together. So a wonderful way in Python to create the looping or the for loops, for example, in drawing shapes. And I've also demonstrated using the conditional statement as well. So it's going to check and see every time before drawing objects. So practice using these same techniques, the functions and methods within your graphics programming. And with this, let's move to the next lesson.